everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jules, and today we are going to be doing part 2 of my skincare routine. So in part 1, we talked about what I put on my skin topically to help with my skincare. Part 2, this time around, we're going to be talking about what I use internally. So what foods do I eat and what do I not eat to help my skin be as clear and crystal and beautiful as I can make it as a performer putting makeup on it all the time. So if you didn't see part 1, go and watch part 1 first, and that'll show you what I put on my skin topically. And now here we are at part 2, what I eat. So today I'm sharing what I actually eat to keep my skin healthy and to avoid breakouts. So it's not super complicated. I don't do a lot of meal prepping. It's just food choices that I have made that have definitely made a difference in my skin. So let's dive into it. A little bit of background on why I eat this way and how I learned these things is that my mom is a type 1 diabetic. She's had it since she was in kindergarten. So because of this, growing up, she had to eat very clean for her health. And in turn, when she had me and my brothers, we also grew up eating very clean and all natural. And some people might call me crazy, but I feel like I can really tell the difference. Like if there's a not organic or pasture raised free range chicken versus a non-pasture raised, non-organic chicken, I can tell the difference. I don't know if I'm crazy. It just tastes different to me. So what they do to our food is a whole nother video that we could talk about, but let's talk about what I eat for my skin. And I didn't really start eating these things or eat these things for my skin specifically. I was just doing this stuff for my overall health, and then I noticed that it did have an effect on my skin too. So there are 4 things that I do eat and do make sure to eat that help with my skin. And then there are 3 things that I also try to avoid at all costs because every time I eat them, I notice that I get a breakout. So let's dive into it. The first thing I eat is whole foods. So I try to eat as many fruits and vegetables as possible, keep my processed foods down to a very low minimum. Like I'll do crackers as a processed item, pastas, sometimes I'll do processed, but I try to eat as many whole fruits and vegetables as possible. Whole grains as well, like rice or quinoa. Healthy fats and lean proteins are also something I try to get into my diet. So healthy fats look like maybe some fish or avocado. I eat a lot of avocado, like at least a little bit of avocado every single day. I love avocado. And for my lean proteins, I eat a lot of turkey, chicken, all with no hormones in it. Like I try to get the hormone-free meats if I am going to eat meat as a form of protein. Now, olive oil is also really good for you. I have been thinking about and doing research on like taking, I think it's in the morning or at night. It's either at morning or at night. I can't remember, but you take like 1 tablespoon of a really good olive oil, either in the morning or at night, and that's supposed to really help your skin as well. Haven't tried it yet, but I do cook and just eat a lot of olive oil in the foods that I make already. But if I do start doing olive oil a day, I'll let you guys know what that is like. But making sure that I do get like avocado oil, olive oil, nuts, healthy fats, healthy proteins, and whole fruits and vegetables. Making sure I really get those fruits and vegetables in has been great. Now, another part of this is number 2, another thing that I do eat to help my skin is I make sure I get enough antioxidants. So mainly what I get my antioxidants through is like I take a supplement for it, and that'll help a lot. We'll talk about supplements a little bit more. But I also eat berries. So strawberries, blueberries, those are full of antioxidants. Dark leafy greens like kale and spinach are also really good for you. I started eating those because I have low iron, and those have a lot more iron in it. But I also noticed they're high in antioxidants, and that is great for your skin. If I drink anything with any amount of caffeine in it, because I, for one, cannot do caffeine, unfortunately, I like the taste of coffee, but it doesn't work for me. I will drink some green tea, but very little bit because it does have a lot of caffeine, but green tea is also full in antioxidants and dark chocolate. I will say I am more of a milk chocolate girly. I love a good milk chocolate, but dark chocolate is really good for those antioxidants. And make sure it's like a not super processed one with very minimal ingredients, because if it has a lot of sugar in it, that's not as high in antioxidants. And we will talk more about sugar in a minute as well. Now, besides whole foods and antioxidants, I also make sure that I'm getting enough hydration. So living in Las Vegas, where it can get up to 120 degrees in the summertime, I really need to stay hydrated, especially because I'm dancing. Now, I am not the best at drinking water. I want to be. In the summertime, I'm way better at it because I'm just hot, but in the wintertime, I forget. But I do try to drink at least 2 big cups of water per day, at least. Like, that's bare minimum. I do have this huge, I don't have it with me, but I do have this huge jug of water that I take with me everywhere. My goal is to try to drink 1 whole jug a day. Now, in the summertime, besides just drinking a lot of water, I do make sure I eat water-rich foods. So cucumber, celery, I do love to snack on those things, which are higher in water, which is great for your hydration of your skin. Now, I also take an electrolyte drink once a day, especially in the summertime. When it's really hot, I will have an electrolyte drink once a day. I try to get a sugar-free electrolyte, or another thing you can do for electrolytes is take a small little pinch of Celtic or Celtic, however you want to pronounce it, Celtic sea salt, because it has minerals in it. You just stick that under your tongue and then drink a glass of water with it. That will also help get your electrolytes back up. So that is what I do to stay hydrated. I really try to make sure that I'm drinking enough water every single day to make my skin nice and glowy. But I mean, right now I have makeup on because I just came back from a gig. But when I don't have makeup on, my skin is still decently glowy. I wouldn't say it's glass skin, but it's decently glowy. We talked about whole foods, we talked about antioxidants and hydration. Now, the 4th thing that I do is really make sure that I am focusing on my gut health. So I want to make sure I have a nice microbiome, which this will help with your skin, but it'll also just overall make you feel better, as if your microbiome is balanced. That's all the lovely little bacteria that are in your gut, and they are good bacteria, and we need to make sure that we take care of them. So eating foods that have prebiotics and probiotics in it, like yogurt and fermented foods like kimchi or sauerkraut, those are great foods to help fuel your microbiome. I personally love kimchi. I eat a lot of kimchi. I at least have like a little bit every other day or every day if I'm really feeling in the kimchi mood. But I also make sure that I am taking supplements to help with my gut. So if I'm taking a probiotic supplement, a prebiotic supplement, or I also take a multivitamin, that has definitely been helping me with making sure I get enough vitamins in that maybe I'm not getting enough with what I'm eating. I'm also a little bit low in iron and low in zinc, so I just take a little bit more of those two. Now, I did get my levels checked. I would not recommend just starting to eat a bunch of supplements without knowing what you're deficient in. I am not a doctor. Do not just start eating supplements willy-nilly. Definitely consult your doctor first beforehand, because you can overdose on supplements. It is possible. It almost happened to me once in high school. Zinc, you can overdose on zinc, just letting you guys know that. So definitely consult your doctor before you try supplements. With gut health and whole foods, one food in particular I've noticed has helped with my acne, but has also helped with my periods as well. When I get periods, I don't really get any cramps. I have a very heavy flow, and that just has been my whole life heavy flow. But I did notice that my periods have been easier when I am eating cabbage. Now, cabbage is supposed to help balance your hormones, and also when it's fermented, it's great for your microbiome. So if you don't like cabbage, maybe try cooking it a different way. I love cabbage. I used to not like it. Now I make these cabbage salads. So I'll just chop up cabbage, put some lemon on there, some olive oil on there. I will sometimes blend up a jalapeno and some other stuff, some garlic, and just make like a cool, like a green goddess salad pretty much, but just with cabbage. But also everybody's body is different. So try it for a second. If you feel like it's not doing anything for you, that's okay. There's more areas to explore. As long as you're doing it safely and as long as you are listening to your body, you should be fine. And your doctor. Listen to your doctor. So that is the 4 areas on what I do eat and how I eat every single day to help maintain my overall health, but has also helped my skin. So once again, that is eating whole foods, making sure I have antioxidants, having proper hydration, and focusing on my gut health through food and also through supplements. Now, that's what I do eat. Now let's talk about what I cut out and what I stopped eating that I have seen so much of a change in my skin since I stopped eating these. There's three main things. I'm sure there's more out there, but these 3 main things have definitely changed how my skin looks. Thing number 1 is I cut out artificial colors and sweeteners. So Once I got rid of a bunch of dyes, like fake dyes, fake sugars, and other chemical additives that are found in packaged and processed foods, I found that because I had all this hormonal cystic acne right here, I found that as soon as I cut those out, that started going down a lot. There was way less inflammation. Another thing I cut out was just in general processed sugar. I really lowered how many candies, I don't even drink soda anymore, how many pastries and sugary treats that I have. I cut that down. There's also like a lot of sugar in like sauces for like marinades that people don't really notice. I rarely ever use a marinade, if at all. Maybe once a year I'll use a marinade, or I never use a marinade on meat. I always use some kind of dry rub, and even check those because sometimes they add a lot of sugar to that as well. One thing I didn't notice is maple syrup. Guys, maple syrup does not need any added sugar. It is already sweet. Look at your maple syrup container and see if it has added sugars to it. If it does, don't buy that one again. Just buy 100% raw maple syrup. It's already sweet. It's already sweet. You don't need that added sugar. Sugar is actually a big contributor to inflammation and breakouts. Once I cut out sugar, I noticed I was getting way less inflamed and did not have any breakouts as much anymore. So definitely cutting out or lessening the amount of sugar, processed sugar that you intake is a great way to test out and see if it's gonna help your skin. The third one, and then I'll also talk about a fourth one that's kind of hit or miss, one that I sometimes notice that it breaks me out, sometimes doesn't. But one that definitely does is also excess grease. So if I decide to eat a lot of fried food or fast food or something with heavy oils in it, occasionally like it's fine, but if I had like a full week of eating like that, I have noticed that my skin does not look good. I start getting zits, I start getting acne, I also start feeling tired. So limiting how much fast food or takeout that I get has also helped my skin a ton. So those are the three main things I've noticed, and every time I do eat them again, my skin flares up. Again, the three things that I avoid are artificial colors and sweeteners, processed sugar, and excess grease. Now, the fourth one that I avoid a lot, but I haven't really noticed a ton of difference in my skin. Mostly I've noticed it a lot with like my gut, but sometimes I will get some acne if I notice that I'm eating it too much, is dairy. If I eat too much dairy, then sometimes my skin will get a little bit more inflamed. So usually if I'm going to get like an ice cream or something, I will get an almond milk ice cream or a coconut milk ice cream with no artificial sugars in it. That will be like my alternative for a sweet treat versus like a dairy-based ice cream. I still eat cheese. I've noticed cheese hasn't really bothered me that much, but I also don't eat like a ton of it. Cheese hasn't bothered me. Butter hasn't bothered me. Milk sometimes does. This could also just be me being lactose intolerant. Like I said, everyone's a little bit different. That's why I'm not really going to include this in the skincare thing, but it just is something. So if like everything else you've cut out or stopped eating doesn't work for your skin, maybe try cutting out dairy. That's another one you could do. But again, the top three things that I avoid are artificial sweeteners and colors, processed sugar, and excess grease. That's really it, guys. That's the whole thing. We talked about what I do eat for my skin and what I don't eat for my skin. This is kind of a faster video. I'm just talking about it here. If you want to see like what I actually have in my fridge or what kind of meals I actually make on it every day, I can share those with you as well. I can share what I have in my fridge if I'm looking for something sweet or something salty, what I eat every day, what I eat only sometimes. If I do get something processed or packaged, what kind of processed or packaged foods do I eat? I can let you guys know all about that as well if you are curious. Once again, everyone's skin is different, so pay attention to what works for your body. If you try any of these things, let me know in the comments, see how it was going for you. Also, your skin will not clear overnight. These things take time. So if you're gonna try something, stick to it for at least 2 weeks to a month to really see if there's any major difference in your skin, especially for those of us who have periods. There's a lot of hormones involved and it might take some time in order to see any sort of difference or results. Once again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you want to talk to me about what you eat or tell me what you've tried, or if you do try any of this and it is helpful, let me know in the comments below. I would love to connect with you guys and talk more about your skin journey. I am not a doctor. I am not a licensed esthetician. I am not a dietitian. I am just a Las Vegas dancer performer who has had a lot of acne in the past and finally figured out how to keep my skin clear. So until next time, click that subscribe button if you want to see more videos from me. I hope you all have an amazing, wonderful day, and I will see all you guys in the next video. Bye.